the National Assembly, Honorable Pele G. Tunkaran. Honorable, you're welcome. Thank you very much. The Right Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly of the Republic of the Gambia, Honorable C.D. S.K. Njai. With your permission, sir, we wish to commence proceedings for the third edition of what is now a very famous National Assembly Open Day. Parliamentary tradition that demands we take every parliamentary meeting or gathering or whatever Parliament is involved in, we start with prayers. So we will take a minute to pray silently so that we can have a successful open day. Let us pray. Thank you very much. I do not wish to waste so much time because we understand today is Saturday and a lot of us have other engagements. But this is important for the National Assembly. It is important for the leadership of the National Assembly to ensuring that an institution that is in the vanguard of promoting and safeguarding the democracy of the Republic regularly interact with its constituents. Who are the constituents? The people of the Republic. And this is why on a day like today, we invite every sector from the government, the local government, the civil society, the media, the school children, everybody that has a stake in the running of affairs of our country. And this is what we will be doing today, and we hope the event will be memorable. On that note, it is now my singular honor and pleasure to invite the Deputy Clerk for Administration and Finance, Mr. Abuba M.E. Jata, to formally welcome all of you to the third edition of the Open Day. Sir, you are welcome.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Majority Leader, Honorable National Assembly members here present, distinguished invited guests, clerk and staff of the National Assembly, the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and delight that I welcome you all on behalf of the clerk of the National Assembly to the third edition of the National Assembly Open Day. This engagement, which we do annually with the support of the Westminster Foundation for Democracy, is aimed at bringing the legislature closer to the people. The theme for this year's celebration is bringing Parliament closer to the people. The objective is to celebrate the work and contribution of legislature by ensuring that the people and their representatives and the staff that support the work of National Assembly members interact, share the unique history, role, work, as well as the challenges and successes of the legislature. Those of you who are afraid with the National Assembly will agree with me that we have come a long way. Suffice it to say, today's event brings Parliament closer to the people and vice versa, to create the necessary connection and build strong relationships with partners and stakeholders. I therefore encourage all of you to make maximum use of the day to explore Parliament building and learn about how the institution performs its core mandate of legislation, oversight, and representation. It is our conviction that with greater popular participation and involvement, the work and role of Assembly and NAM will be better understood and appreciated to overcome some of the challenges faced by the legislature, thereby facilitating their social contract with the Gambian people. The Open Day demonstrates the commitment of the legislature to to be a more open and accessible institution to the public. And furthermore, it denotes an improvement in our service delivery and promotion of citizen engagement. This year's event will take a slightly different form. After the opening session, there will be a conducted tour of the assembly so that you all can have a feel of where and how the members of the assembly and staff work. From there, we will be divided into 3 thematic groups. The Admin and Finance Division will be at the auditorium. The Legislative Business and Programs will be at the Committee Room 1. And the Legal and Procedural Matters Division will be at Committee Room 2. We will be providing briefings in these thematic groups on the work we do and as well take questions and concerns from you. You are all at liberty to walk into any of these thematic groups. To conclude, please allow me to once again thank the Westminster Foundation for Democracy for supporting this public engagement forum of the National Assembly. Once again, on behalf of the Clerk of the National Assembly, I welcome all of you to the 3rd edition of the National Assembly opening. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Deputy Clerk, Administration and Finance. We organized Open Day and other activities of the National Assembly with partners, development partners that support us in our drive, as the Deputy Clerk just said, to fulfill our contract with the people. And one such partner is no stranger to parliamentary business, and they have always supported the institution, and they are continuously doing so with great determination. And that partner is no other than the Westminster Foundation for Democracy. And it is my pleasure to invite the representative of the Westminster Foundation to make a statement.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. Assalamu alaikum to you all and good morning. It is with great pleasure that I invite you, honorable members, the staff of the National Assembly, civil society, journalists, and the public to this year's National Assembly Open Day. This is the 3rd edition of the annual Open Day, which is organized by the National Assembly in collaboration with Westminster Foundation for Democracy. At WFD, we believe democracy underpins the solution to the major challenges of our time, but through 3 key pillars of inclusion, transparency, and accountability, we can build a fairer and more inclusive society. WFD is a UK public body dedicated in strengthening democracy around the world. For more than 30 years, we have actively helped democracies to grow stronger so that freedom and prosperity can flourish. Our patron is the Speaker of the UK House of Commons, and we have a board of cross-party MPs and independent experts. WFD in the Gambia was established in 2018. Since then, WFD and the National Assembly has been working together to create opportunities that bring the voices of citizens closer to Parliament and to find ways of driving openness and dialogue in both directions. Today is an opportunity for that openness and dialogue. The Open Day is a platform where members of Parliament and staff will share the unique history, role, and work, as well as challenges and successes of the Assembly body, and also bring Parliament closer to the people, hence the theme for this year. We hope participants here and those following online will come to learn more about working and processes of the National Assembly, and that today will form a basis of future interest and engagement with parliamentary work. It is only through popular participation by an informed citizenry that we can enhance and strengthen democracy. Without much further ado, let me once again express our appreciation and gratitude to the Speaker and the Clerk, and indeed to the entire members of staff of the National Assembly for the immense cooperation and partnership they render to WFP since its establishment. We continue to enjoy immense cordial working relationship, which we wish to cultivate to best advantage of both institutions. I wish you all a successful event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that succinct message, the Westminster Foundation for Democracy. Let me also seize this opportunity to say our other partners are also in the building, and we recognize the presence of the head of the country office for international IDEA, Madam Geneva Fay. Geneva, you are most welcome. We have also seen, I think this will be very interesting for the clerk, even the private sector this year has responded to our call. And we have seen some of them in our crowd, including the famous Global Properties. You are all welcome. It is now my distinct honor to invite the majority leader of the National Assembly, the man with the voice, with the standing, and with the size, to make a remark. Honorable Majority, please.
Good morning to all. Honorable Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Clerk, Staff of the National Assembly, WFP representative, Resident Representative via IDEA, ladies and gentlemen, students, all protocol duly and respectfully observed. I bring you greetings from the National Assembly on behalf of both National Assembly majority and the minority leader, who is unavoidably absent due to pressing concerns. We are honored to be in your midst today to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of Open Day of the Parliament National Assembly, bringing youth and women together, understanding Parliament and the raising the tar behind Parliament creation. Parliament in every democracy is the hope of democracy. Parliament represents the brain or the lifeblood of every democracy is Parliament. Without Parliament, there is no democracy. That is why it is you, through you, youth and women, you send us here to make sure that we account on the monies you pay to government. There is a popular adage that says that there is no representation without taxation. When we believe and come together as a nation, that is a contract in itself. The social contract is now broadened, that we will not be, everybody will not be at the helm of leadership, but then in choosing you to lead the nation, we will also have representations for them to be in the National Assembly to give you, the government, our agreed and collective resources to govern us. And that is why you have Parliament and pass budget. Your Parliament also would not only there to just pass budget, you tax us to be the vuvuzelas. You tax us to be the town criers. You tax us to be your mouthpiece, to be your eyes, to make sure that we echo, we advocate your concerns. That is why in every budget session we cry for water, we cry for electricity, we cry for roads, we cry for everything. Youth and employment, education sector. It's through Parliament does that. And Parliament don't only represent your voices. We make sure that the budget approved, we conduct oversight on them. It is through the trust and confidence you bestowed on us. That is why we make sure that every penny that the government collects from you through taxation, we make sure that we follow it to the letter, to make sure that the contract we sign with them in the Parliament, the approved monies are spent appropriately or are spent on agreed programs of government. And to cut it short, this is an expose for you to understand how Parliament operates. And Parliament does have the two sides. You have the majority camp and the minority camp of Parliament. So on behalf of both sides of Assembly, I am honored to interact with you and understand that it's a political institution. However, we make sure that we put the national interest at heart. Your coming here is laudable and it's welcome. We look forward to engaging with you and understand as to the school children, it's important that we nurture, we inculcate, we educate you, enlighten you about how Parliament operates. When you also grow, you are the future leader of tomorrow. Some of you will be standing in this podium addressing your fellow students. I was a student like you a few years ago, and now today I'm addressing my fellow students. I want to tell you that the government of the Gambia, under His Excellency Adama Barrow, has created every environment necessary to support education, to support youth, and support the women as well. So thank you so much for indulgence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I told you he's a man who has the voice, and he has just demonstrated that he is indeed the leader of the majority. I wish to recognize, Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I wish to recognize the presence of our colleague and friend and brother, historian Asum Sise, who is always making events like this very appetizing, because history lessons, as far as I know, are never boring. On that note, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly to formally declare the third edition of the Open Day open. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony, the Honorable Majority Leader of the National Assembly, Honorable Vileji Tunkara, Honorable Tumanin Ding Sani, on behalf of the minority, clerk, deputy clerk, staff of the National Assembly, our partners, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to join you this morning for the third edition of the National Assembly Open Day, the day commemorated on the theme, bringing Parliament closer to the people. I'll take it again. The day commemorated on the theme, bringing Parliament closer to the people, accentuate our country's democratic gains, and it is part of the vision of the leadership of the 6th Legislature to making the National Assembly open, accessible, representative, inclusive, transparent, and accountable to the citizens of the Gambia. It is my hope that this open day would increase public awareness and understanding of the work of the legislature, to enhance citizens' understanding of the constitutional role of the National Assembly members, to heighten public trust, confidence in Parliament, and to make Parliament accessible, participatory, and above all, responsive to the interests of the citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, the open day which accord the public and unrestricted access to the National Assembly and its members comes on the heels of the fact that in discharging its representation function, the 6th Legislature has represented the Gambia remarkably well in national and international levels. For instance, the National Assembly has a solid representation to the Pan-African Parliament, the ACP EU Parliament, the ECOWAS Parliament, as well as to the statutory meeting of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, the Interparliamentary Union, and other international parliament organizations. The National Assembly's engagement in these organizations are premised on the need to advance the country's national interests and those of African continent as reflected in the National Development Plan and the African Union Agenda 2063. The Constitution of the Gambia, 1997, bears supreme legislative power in the Parliament. It has the supremacy of enactment of laws. It is empowered to amend existing laws, ratify conventions, agreements, and protocols, promote public accountability and transparency, and monitor post-legislative implementation of laws in form of oversight. In this respect, the 6th legislature has passed several laws such as the Anti-Corruption Bill, the Mutual Legal Assistance Bill, Prohibition of Torture Bill, among others, to improve the collective well-being of all Gambians. Whilst performing oversight over the executive, both the standing and select committees have performed remarkably well. The social sector committees such as education, health and agriculture, as well as accountability committees like the Finance and Public Accounts Committee, are making great strides through parliamentary oversight to contribute to the broader goal of alleviating poverty and promoting development. Much more, the Defense and Security Committee is worryingly tireless with the security sector to making the Gambia a peaceful and safe place for all. All this was made possible thanks to the joint effort of the National Assembly and the government under the leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, who created the enabling environment and ensured that the independence and total autonomy of the National Assembly and that of the judiciary to effectively monitor and perform oversight on the executive, winning the confidence of the public. At the National Assembly here, because today's event is an open day, to take you through some of the activities, roles, and responsibilities of the National Assembly members in a constitutional mandate of representation, legislation, and oversight. As the Parliament is a supreme institution that more or less is the lifeblood of all government institutions in the country. Various standing committees and select committees, as I highlighted earlier on, education, agriculture, health, youth and sport, infrastructure as well, finance and accountability. These are committees that members of the National Assembly utilize their experts and experience to hold government accountable to the people. Because this is the representative of our constituents as the government and as the people. Therefore, the supreme authority of this country is vested on members of the National Assembly. For us to effectively perform that role, Parliament, together with our development partners, continues to empower and enhance the capacity of members of the National Assembly so that they will be able to be equal to the task of representation, oversight, and legislation, without which they won't be able to perform their duties as mandated by the Constitution. Later on the day, our experts and members of the staff, headed by the clerk, they will take you into various units and also take you through the memory lane of how it evolved and what are our roles and responsibilities. And in fact, those groups who will be lucky to be part of the legislative process will be able to have the opportunity to know what process, what step the National Assembly will take to enact legislation, which is very interesting. The various procedures and processes until finally Parliament approve or approve a proposed legislation from either the executive or a member of Parliament. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme of the day, bringing the National Assembly closer to the people and vice versa, hence create the necessary connection and build strong relationships with partners and stakeholders. It is intended that the making of this day will serve to raise favorable public perception and enhance public participation and involvement in the work of the legislature. With greater popular participation and involvement, the work and role of the Assembly and members will be better understood and appreciated. Hence, it will overcome some of the challenges faced by the legislature, thereby facilitating their role in representation, lawmaking, and oversight. The overall objective of bringing Parliament to the people shows how the National Assembly is operating between the three spheres of government. In this way, Parliament is contributing to the building of participatory democracy by ensuring that citizens not only vote every 5 years for their representative, but they are also able to participate in decisions that affect their lives. We hold government accountable, and it's our constituent, the electorate, you, who should hold members of the National Assembly accountable. And there are a lot of measures by either engaging us in our various committees, in our open days, and as well as our public discussion, and as well as, of course, putting forward in form of petition either us or the public. In fact, by petitioning us of issues that you think could be addressed that affect every Gambian irrespective of the institution, for us drawing attention to that, in effect, you are holding us accountable and you are also holding us to task. The overall objective of bringing Parliament to the people shows how the National Assembly is operating between the three spheres of government. In this way, Parliament is contributing to the building of participatory democracy by ensuring that citizens not only vote every 5 years for their representation, but they are also able to participate in the decisions that affect their lives. I'm optimistic that the people will take advantage of the day to engage with NAMS and service staff to learn and appreciate the important place of the National Assembly in the Gambia and how it influences and impacts everyone. I therefore urge you to take advantage of today and clear every perception you might have about the legislature. Together we can bridge the information gap and move together as a collective to build a country. Whilst I wish you all a successful open day, allow me to conclude by commending our development partners, particularly the Westminster Foundation for Democracy, for always supporting efforts of the National Assembly to be responsive, accountable, and a democratic legislature. I also wish to thank friends of the National Assembly who are joining together with us in our quest to ensuring that there is robust and effective and efficient National Assembly for service delivery. On that note, I wish you a successful open day. Thank you.
Can I give him a round of applause one more time? And thank you very much, Honorable. Honorable Speaker, I think I also need to capitalize on this moment to inform the public that this evening we will be testing the footballing skills of the Right Honorable Speaker. So all of you are warmly invited to that match. Having declared the open day officially opened, this is how the order of proceedings will now flow. We will now call our historian, Mr. Hasum Sise, to give us a synopsis of this institution, how it emerged, how it evolved, and where we are today. Then after that, we will have a conducted tour of the National Assembly. And you will have the opportunity, maybe for some of us the first time, to see the chamber, to see committee rooms, and to understand how business is conducted. And from there, the auditorium, committee room 1 and committee room 2 will be available, and it will be occupied by the 3 legs of the office of the clerk. Anything that you want to understand, anything that you want to know about the National Assembly or anything that is bothering you, we will endeavor to provide answers. While we commence the lecture, I think organizing committee, I think I can see some Sisekundas are yearning. So if we can have some food and drinks quietly being served. Honorable Sisekundas.
Thank you very much, Director. Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Honorable members here present, the clerk, Deputy Clerk, Directors here present, the staff, students, ladies and gentlemen. I missed last year's session. That's why this session I will beg your indulgence to give me more time to catch up. But I have prepared a lot of material. Now I want to say to the team, bringing the National Assembly closer to the people is important because this is one institution that thrives on tradition. If there's any institution which upholds tradition, it's this one. Everything they do here is heritage. And that makes it, somehow outstanding. My brother here, the clerk, the work that Mr. Watt, the first clerk, in 1914, he did exactly what he's doing today in 2024. Maybe the quantum, of course, has increased, because then he had 6 MPs. Now he has 60. So the quantum, but it's the same. Everything here is tradition. My other brother, Mr. Mbai, is the director of table, as they call it. It's the same thing. Since 1940. So everything here we do is tradition. And this is why, some people ask me why I am always interested in the proceedings of assembly. I follow it, I said, because everything they do is heritage. Everything they do is heritage. I will start, for example, just to give you a few examples. Even the hierarchy of the assembly, starting from speaker. It has been like that since the first speaker was appointed in 1954. 1954, that's 70 years ago, Sir John Mahoney. Before that, the role of speaker was called president. And it was the governor who was the president. So there was a combination of mixing the executive power and the legislative power, because the governor at Government House, State House, was also the speaker of the legislative council. So there was no division of labor. There was no separation of powers, as the students of political science say. That started with the 1954 Constitution, when Sir John Mahoney was elected first speaker, 70 years ago. But the work remains the same. Even the way Sir John Mahoney dressed and the way that the current Honorable Speaker dressed is the same. So it's tradition. Well, yes, the heart has changed somewhat. But the protocol, the pomp, the pageantry is the same. So it's tradition. You have deputy speaker. The first deputy speaker was Lamin Torabut, 1962. The MP for India. And now, in those days, because we don't have many educated people, you can be a Banjulian and become MP for Salo, like Idin Jai, our first MP. He was from Banjul. So Torabut was from Nyamina, but he was MP for Ilyasa. Idin Jai, a Banjul man, was MP for Sukuta. That's how things used to work. And also tell us how tolerant Gambians are. Okay? Yeah, you can leave your district and go and become MP in another district. Like Honorable Madisise was born in Piraitenda. Now he is MP for Serekunda. You see? So that shows how tolerant, Gambians are. That's why I think, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I think we exaggerate the level of political intolerance in this country. I think we exaggerate it too much. Gambians are very tolerant. The current MP for Serekunda, I think, is from Nyanija. As Mr. Cham, I think the origins are Nyanija. You see? So I think we exaggerate. I think we spend so much time, exaggerating the negative things. The MP for Rosal also. Yeah. So these are some of the good things happening in our country. Now, majority leader position was created in 1962. Okay? Minority leader position was also created in the same year. We still have the committees. We have so many committees now. And this also started in 1954. A committee for this, committee for budget and allocations, committee for this, foreign affairs, and so on and so forth. And it's the same. Their work remains the same. Committees. You see? Sessions. Before there is a session, the Honorable Clerk will put a notice in the newspaper, to announce it. It has always been like that. Since 1947. Okay? 5 days before the session starts, the newspapers will carry it. And will say the following bills will be dash. The same. If I see it in the newspaper tomorrow, it's the same format as it was done in 1954. The same format. Nothing changes. So it's tradition. This is a place of tradition. Clerk, I said that since 1914. Handles, the administration, and the welfare of the elected, honorable, members. The other important, very, very interesting thing has to do with the issue of the workings of the house itself. To prepare here, I went to the archives and I got the handset. For March 60 years ago. 60 years ago. And you'll be surprised. How things were done 60 years ago is the same way that the clerk does it now. Okay? Then the clerk was Hatib Semegachan, clerk of the house. Okay? It's March 1964. So he announced that there will be a session of the assembly on the 20th and 21st. He put it in the newspaper. Okay? And it's the order of papers and reports to be laid. That's how, they did it 60 years ago. Order, a capital O, of papers and reports to be laid. LAID. 1. Gambia Oil Seed Marketing Port Report, 1962-63. 2. Farmers Fund Financial Statement for Consideration, 1962. 3. Gambianization of the Civil Service Report. 4. Customs Department Annual Report. 5. Certificate of Urgency. Certificate of Urgency. They still do that. Huh? His Excellency the President might request certificate of urgency. So then the Prime Minister Sadaura Jawara also wanted a certificate of urgency, capital C, capital U, in respect of a bill entitled an ordinance to authorize certain extra budgetary additional payments during the year 1964. That's extra budgetary, request. 6. London College annual report to be considered. 7, Education Department annual report. So this was the order on the table for that session, 20th and the 21st March, 1964. Question, because the MPs write questions for the Honorable Ministers to answer. But in those days, during the KORA period, MPs were ministers. You can only be a minister if you are an elected member. It was during your government's time that was removed. Okay? So in those days, you cannot be a minister without being an elected member. Okay? Questions. Okay? The following questions will be answered. Okay? He said, Keba Nyamadi, he had a question. He was the MP for San. Keba Nyamadi, he had a question for the Minister of Local Government. Mr. T.S. Tam was the MP for Nyanija. He had a question for the Minister of Agriculture. Okay? Mr. Samara Wasature, MP for Kombo. He had questions for the Minister of Works and Communications. Mr. Numukunda Owadabo, MP for Upper Fulani. He had question for the Minister of Health. So, these were the questions on the table for that session. Bills. The following bills are on the table. The Protectorate Fire Damage Amendment Bill, Local Government Amendment Bill, Rice Price Control Bill, Stamp Amendment Bill, Gambia Savings Bank Amendment Bill, Dangerous Drugs Amendment Bill. So these were the bills on the table for that session. Okay. Now, I also want to just to tell you how this place is a place of tradition and heritage. Now, when it came to the questions and answers, the honourable member will ask, and then the honourable minister will get up. I'll just give an example. Question from Keba Nyamali. Can the honourable minister for local government tell us how soon government will consider the introduction of a housing scheme to ease the acute shortage of accommodation in the colony and in divisional headquarters? Answer, Sirif Mustafa Diba, Minister of Local Government. Government has no plan for introducing schemes for providing houses for the public. It is, however, the intention to develop as much of the reclaimed land in purpose as possible and the now new box-bar layout so that more people can have accommodation. In Combo St. Mary Division, large areas have been allocated for housing. For example, plots have already been allocated at Fajara along the pipeline route. So that was how the minister answered the question. Okay? Question 91 from Amangkany. Would the Minister of Agriculture tell the House when he intends to extend organized cattle marketing to the province? So you can see that, there are, it's basically the same tradition that we thrive on. Of course, in history we have continuity, but we also have change. For example, in those days, the chiefs used to sit in the house, in the National Assembly, chiefs. Okay? And in those days, just like now, before every sitting, the honorable clerk will have to take an attendance list to see for which nominated and which National Assembly members are present and those who are not present. Okay? So I will just take you through that. Session 20th and 24th March 1964, present. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ali Suleiman Jack, Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Honorable SSD, Minister for Local Government, Labour and Land, Honorable SM Diba, Minister of Education, Honorable Hassan Musa Kamal, Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Aman Eskai, Minister of Works and Communications, Honorable Alhaji A. Binjai, MBE JP, Minister of Health, the Honorable Jerry L.P. Duffy, Minister without Portfolio, the Honorable Yusuf Sam. Also present, the Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister, Honorable Bakari L.K. Sani, Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Finance, Honorable Keba C.A.K., Attorney General, Honorable Sir Philip Briggs. Members present, Honorable Michael Balde, Bassett, Honorable Paul Balde, Lord Flood West, Honorable Yaya Sise, Jara, Honorable Temba Cham, Nyanika, Honorable MC Cham, Kumana, Honorable Musa Dabo, Sandi, Honorable Numukunda Dabo, Upper Flood West, Honorable Alfonso Temba, Batak Cape St. Mary, Honorable Temba Jagana, Jimara, Honorable IPI Job, Newtown, Bathos, Honorable M.B. Jones, Soldier Town, Bathos, Honorable E.D. Njai, Opasal, Honorable Keba Nyamali, Sami, Honorable Lamin Barambo, Idiasa, Honorable Mamadou Sanyang, Eastern Province, Honorable H.O. Semega Jani, Serakunda, Honorable Famara Wasature, Western Combo, Honorable Bangali Singate, Wuli, Honorable Kalilu Singate, Nyomi, Sefo Omar Mbake, Chiefs, Sefo Sokuba Judges, Chiefs, Sefo L.O. Sonko, Chiefs, Honorable Sefo L.S. Sonko, Chiefs, Honorable M.D. Sala, nominated, absent, Honorable Fode Sonko, absent without Speaker's permission, Honorable P.S. Njai, absent without Speaker's permission, Honorable J.H. Youth, absent with Speaker's permission, Honorable Dauda Kelaba Jawara, away from the Gambia, Honorable T.P. Malinsi, Das, signed by P. Semegajane, clerk of the House. So this is also a long-lasting tradition, okay? And this is how some of the great Gambian MPs, lost their seats. Because if you are absent for 3 consecutive sessions without Speaker's Parliament, you lose your seat. That's why Pierre Njai, in 1972, the Gambia's first chief minister and founder of the United Party, that's how he lost his seat. Okay? Okay, in 1972. Because he traveled without the Speaker's permission. And when the clerk took the attendance, on 3 occasions, his seat was declared vacant. That's how a great Gambian politician ended his political career, the absenteeism. The late, Baba Balde also. See? The MP, for Jumara. See? That's how he lost his seat. Although, some say he was encouraged to be absent. Because Jawara wanted, somebody to be MP. Okay? So the PPP, they stage managed and gave Baba the air ticket to go to England so that he will be absent and he will lose his seat. There will be a by-election, then Jawara's candidate can be MP. Jawara's candidate won. That's, the late, foreign minister from Bakti, Omar C. Okay, and became Jawara's foreign minister for a long time. Abuba, went back because he won as an independent. Okay, and then that's how Jumara was also created as a new constituency for him. See? So you can see that this is a place full of tradition and heritage, so that if we are really looking for an institution that has really, kept the tradition and heritage, I think it is this very, very august. But the things have changed from the museum, where the museum is, that used to be the assembly, that it moved to Independence Drive, and now here to Rectify Day. So the sites have changed. Of course, the people change, but the traditions remain. And thank you very much for your attention.
Can we give him another round of applause? So when we are celebrating our new building, and we are saying since 2010, and Hassan is telling us about the 1940s, and this is the beauty, and this is the beauty of seeing institutions grow. So Clark, we are delighted to hear that you are strictly following tradition. This brings us to the end of the formalities this morning. And Honorable Speaker and the rest of the team on the high table, we are very appreciative. Honorable Speaker and team, we will now take leave of you, but that doesn't imply that the open day is over. Probably, particularly the students may be knocking on you at your office to check whether the Republic of the Gambia, is adequately ensuring that you have a good space to shape them better. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now follow the lead of the head of protocol, Mr. Anyasi, to the chamber and across the building. And from there, committee room 1 will be occupied by the legislative business team. Committee room 2 will be occupied by the legal and procedural matters,